G'day and welcome to Love Engineering Live. Today's live, I'm going to talk very quickly about vulnerability. Now, there's so often I hear people saying that they don't want to be or can't be vulnerable because they don't want to feel weak, or more importantly, do not want to be perceived as weak. So the question is, when there are other people saying that being vulnerable is beautiful and it's a strength, what do you believe? What do you listen to? You can't hear me. Is that any better, Sarah? Okay, so vulnerability. What does it take to be vulnerable? When are we vulnerable? Well, if you imagine this here being the end of the comfort zone, and it's comfortable this side, but this side is very, very uncomfortable. When we go outside of our comfort zone, what's the one thing that it takes? It takes courage. But how can we be vulnerable without being courageous? And what's the vulnerability? Still sides, I have the words typed. And I don't actually know why you can't hear me, or do I? Yeah, the mic's on, so anyways, outside of the comfort zone takes courage. And anything that takes courage, whether it's something that's new or something that's scary, puts you in a vulnerable place. Within the comfort zone, where we're comfortable and we have a pretty high level of certainty that things are going to go well and it's going to feel good. It doesn't take any courage, and we're not vulnerable in that place. Just in that stream. So outside of that comfort zone, it takes strength. It takes courage to get out there. If you think about back in the First World War, when you got these soldiers in the trenches, the most vulnerable thing they can do is stick their head above the level of the trench. Why? Because higher chance that they're going to get shot above the tunnel than inside. It takes courage for them to go over the top. It takes courage to stick the head out. It takes courage to be vulnerable. So, hi, Nikki. Hi, Sarah. So, if it takes courage to be vulnerable, what does that mean within a relationship? When are we vulnerable? Most of the time, it is emotional, because we don't want to get rejected. If we step out of our comfort zone, speak our truth, or say something that another person may not like, we could get rejected. We could feel unloved. They could feel unloved. And we don't really intentionally want to make anybody else feel bad. So sometimes when we talk about vulnerability, it's not so much about being physically vulnerable. A lot of the time, it's emotionally vulnerable. And it still takes courage, even if we're not going to get physically shot, like the guys in the First World War trenches. But that person saying that they don't love us or they don't want to go out with us, that can still hurt. It takes courage to ask somebody out. It takes courage to ask for a relationship. It takes courage to ask for something you think the other person might not like. or they might say no to. After all, that no is such a scary word, especially within a relationship. Nobody really wants to hear the word no, especially it's no, I don't love you, or no, I don't want to do this or don't want to do that you enjoy. Although sometimes no can still be a beautiful thing. After all, if you go around saying yes to everything, even if you mean no, what is the value of your yes? You say yes to your friends and they question whether you actually mean yes or you mean no. What is the value of your yes if you can't say no? Sometimes it takes being vulnerable to say no or yes. So that's about all I'm going to say for today. And I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.